vote. I'm like, man, our ancestors died for a whole lot. Not just the right to vote. You know what I'm saying? We died for a whole lot of stuff. So don't just use the ancestors as a convenient tool to,
You want to use for this, but don't want to use it.
Right. The ancestors fought for liberation and all kinds of stuff,
But you say your ancestors came from Africa, or you came from Africa. Oh, no, I ain't no African.
Oh, no.
I ain't no African. I ain't come from Africa. I'm from America.
Yeah, man. We've been fighting.
Like, you believe in your ancestors.
Right. I asked somebody, it's like, what's the cutoff date? What's the cutoff date if you got that whole argument, but you got a cutoff date. Like, when did the people stop being African and become something else? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother story, man. But you got in Florida, you got the governor of Florida talking about. I think they done took African American studies out of the schools. He said it has no educational value.
Of course it don't. To him, of course it don't. And everybody will endorse it. Of course it don't.
Some years ago, man, rest in peace, old Chancellor Davis. Back in the 90s, the study group that I was a part of was trying to get an African Studies program at UAPB. And, the chancellor during that time basically said, like, you can't do nothing with that. Like, it basically don't serve no purpose. If our kids wanted that type of stuff, they would ask for it. But how do you know that it's what you need if you never had that? Like, if you don't even understand the value of African American studies, African studies, and stuff like this.
I mean, if African greatness was never introduced to you through the school system, your educational system, how would you know?
Right.
When you try to, even if you introduce them to it on a college scholarly level, it probably is like alien,
Right. You ain't gonna, like.
It's like me trying to go learn Greek,
Why would you even want to learn Greek if somebody to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is something that you need. Like, you would think that historically black colleges and universities, it would kind of be like a prerequisite to have African American like to be able to get a degree. I ain't just talking about taking a class here or there. I'm talking about being able to get a degree, a bachelor's, a master's, or a doctorate level degree in African studies or African American studies or Caribbean studies, anything of that nature. Like, HBCU should have those things available to its black students. Because you go to the PWIs, the predominantly white institutions, the universities and colleges, and they teaching, they the chairs of the African American Studies Department. Fayetteville got African Studies, UAPB don't have African Studies. You know what I'm saying? So, to like you said, for him, he said there's no educational value in it. If you think about what that word means, what is value? We're talking about worth. African American studies or African studies ain't worth nothing. That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth your time or effort or money.
What has happened in history that wasn't important?
Right.
To some degree. Right. And you're to totally dismiss it as if to erase it from history? Come on now.
You're basically erasing a people's legacy and story. It's almost like they were saying earlier, black people don't have no culture, no history. Like, y'all was suspended in time and animation till white folk came and got you and said and oh, we in chains, oh, we on the bottom of the boats. Like, we wasn't doing nothing. We was just frozen in time until they found us. And then now we got a history. And we've been up from slavery ever since. And we all know that ain't the truth. It's far from the truth, So taking taking more control of our own education system, you know, is very important. Taking control of our own education, man, is critical. Whether we start independent schools, weekend school, Saturday school, you know, you supplement your children's education, taking them to the museums and nature parks and all, you know, like, they gotta find it somewhere. If the community, if you can't get it in the house, then they gotta find it somewhere in the community. So our community has to do better with being able to tell our story. And right now, especially here, like, our community is not doing a very good job of telling our story. It's far, our story is like it's swept under the rug, and then the rug is rolled up and put in the closet. You know, so you don't even see it.